Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's El Wakil again, and today I will be talking about how to present a brand identity, especially to clients. So, if you are a designer, a business owner, or a marketer, then you probably know the importance of brand identity presentation when it comes to design. Presenting a brand identity is more than just showing a logo. It's about communicating the whole personality behind the brand. So in this video, I'm going to break down the working structure that I use to present my brand identity designs to clients in a way that shows structure and professionalism. You can also use this structure to make your brand identity presentations and handoff unforgettable. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So your brand identity deck, you have to think of it like a story, right? And if it's a story, it means there are a couple of sections that are really important. For example, a beginning, an ending, and then the whole context of the story. And if it's a story, you have to tell it well. So here are some of the must-have sections that you can include in your brand identity deck before presenting it to clients. I used Adobe Illustrator to design this brand identity deck, and I am presenting from the software itself. So on the first page, we have a cover with the primary colors of the brand as well as the brand logo, the primary logo, and I also included this just to make it look nice. So the second thing we have here is the table of contents so that people can easily find what they are looking for whenever they pick up this brand identity deck. So on the first part here, I included a statement that describes the purpose of this brand guide. Why do we need this brand guide? I included it here so that people are able to know what this particular document is for as soon as they start to go through it. The second one is the overview of the brand itself. So on this page, I included an overview of the brand, the kind of business they're into, and what they do. So the next one here, I included value propositions of the brand itself. These will also help communicate well to whoever is picking up this brand guide to know what this particular brand is all about, the kind of things on business they're into, the kind of value they offer to clients, whether it's the founder or somebody somewhere different. So the next one here, I included a brand story, which is the story behind the brand itself. This will also help communicate the brand, not just the design, but also the story behind the brand to whoever comes across this document. I also include mission and vision statements of the brand. So if you notice, you're going to see the first part of this document speaks more about the brand itself and not the design or the design direction that we decided to go with when coming up with the brand identity. So I also included a couple of things here like the core values of the brand and the brand pillars. And then now we have the logo. So for this part, I will now be showing people the logo, the build up, and the different variations of the logo that we have. So on this page, we have the primary logo and the different elements that make up this logo. You see, we have the text, and then we also have the icon. So if you have many other variations of your logo, you can be sure to include them here on this particular section, which is the secondary logo, and you could specify whether this is left aligned or middle aligned or right aligned, even though that could be self-explanatory. So the next thing here, I included a usage section for the logo. You see here, I have defined the spacing that goes around the logo, and I also include how to scale the logo. You know, these are important information that's not just a fellow designer would see, but even if someone is not a designer and they see this, they'll be able to have a very good understanding of how to use this brand identity in a very proper manner that would communicate well without losing the main creative direction that went behind making or building this brand identity. So I also included how the logo could be placed on a couple of different color backgrounds. So this here is the primary color palette of the brand. Apart from just putting in the color here, I also included the different color codes for different usage. We have the hex code, we have the CMYK, which is for printing, and we also have the RGB, which is for digital usages. So this would allow anyone that's trying to use this for any purpose to be able to stick to the main theme of the brand identity. It will give more room for consistency without losing any parts of the brand. We also have a secondary color palette here and accent colors, all for the brands to improve and maintain consistency around different kinds of usage that goes for this brand, whether it's for social media or for designing websites or for printing. You can apply these colors to make sure that you have a holistic um, image of the brand and it does not lose its image or recognition in the eyes of its audience. The next page here is for typography. So I included a typography section with the different kind of fonts that are associated with this brand. Now, I've also included the different font families and how to use these fonts when you are designing. So if ever you want to work with the brand and it has to do with deliverables like visuals, you know where to how to use these different fonts and how to combine them. You can see here I've included how to use which one to use in the header, which one to use in the subheader, which one to use in the body, and I also include the different font hierarchy that could be applied to have good consistency in all of the brand touch points. So the next one here is the brand tone. This communicates the overall brand tone that this particular company is trying to portray. Whether it's casual or formal, friendly or professional, accessible or exclusive, or realistic or idealistic, I use these different nudges to indicate which ones go for which. So this is the brand tone for this company right here. Now the next one, I also designed a pattern with the logo icon here. So patterns make um, communicating with the logo or the icon more beautiful. You could add patterns for aesthetics or on social media posts so that you have a complete, well-rounded feel and look as regards to your brands without needing to borrow elements from outside of the brand itself. And that's why we have a pattern here. Now I also include a couple of applications. The two that we have here is for Instagram and also a favicon for how it appears in web browsers. Now we also have the brand consistency and governance section. So here I'm just trying to communicate to whoever is reading this document what they should not do with the logo. So you can see I've striked all these different variations of the logo out to communicate that these are the things that you should never do with the logo, because if you do it this way, it defeats or it kind of goes against the guidelines of the brand itself. And then we also have an image style as regards to the kind of images that you would want to use whenever you are designing for this particular brand. So the last but not the least section that we have here is mockups for the different stationaries of this brand. We have the letterhead here. We also have the ID here, the ID card for the staff of the company, the front and back design. We also have a t-shirt, The next one, we have a cap, that's a baseball cap. And then the business card design. The front and back design is visible here. Um, and then since this is an oil and gas company, I decided to add in a mock-up of an oil truck or a diesel truck that the company might happen to use, even if not now, but also in the future. And I try to design this truck in a way that properly communicates the branding behind this entire identity so that everything feels more consistent and it flows well with every different touch points that we have for this brand identity. And then the last but not the least is the back cover. So this is the cover of this particular brand deck that we have here. Everything is around 20 or 22 pages, or around 26 pages I have here for this brand deck. So these are some of the things that you pay attention for when presenting your brand identity, because without these things, it's easy for the brand to get lost, or for its uses to start becoming inconsistent over time. But if you can communicate this clearly, it can help other designers that are working with the brand in the future, if that happens to not be you, to be able to stay on track and be consistent with the brand identity. Now, also remember, your brand decks can be more detailed than this, or they could be less detailed than this, depending on how you want to communicate it. But all in all, these are some of the must-haves for your brand deck, and this is how you would want to present it to your clients. Now, apart from this, the next thing is how I arrange. So the next thing here is how I arrange my files before sending them over to the client. So I put everything in a folder, and then each of these elements or brand stationaries goes into a separate folder for itself only. You can see here we have the brand guide, a folder for the brand guide. We have for the business card, company profile, flyers, ID card, letterhead, logo, merchandise, and then mockups. So each of these folders contain the files for the things that are named for it, so that clients can find them easily, and it also gives your work a very neat presentation as a professional. So these are some of the things you look out for when presenting your brand identity. Design alone isn't going to convince your clients. You're going to have to explain why your choices matter. For example, you used a blue color during the design, or in the design, you could explain to them that that blue color projects professionalism, trust, or authority, or that you use a rounded typeface for the fonts. You could explain to them that that rounded typeface help makes the brand feel more approachable. So by tying every design choice you make back to the brand's goals, you are communicating and showing strategy, not just style and aesthetics, thereby making the brand connect more to its intended audience. Now let's talk about tools. Well, there are many tools out there that you can use to create brand decks. You could use tools like Figma, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, Pitch, or even Google Slides. Personally, the tools don't matter. It's your creativity that matters when you're coming up with these designs. But consistency also matters. Consistency in clean layouts, white spacing, font usage, and more. Me personally, I like to use Adobe Illustrator for my brand decks design because it gives me a lot of room for creativity and creative freedom. So I use Adobe Illustrator whenever I'm trying to design for brands or come up with brand decks. Whenever you're designing brand decks, you might want to prioritize visuals over text, since a lot of people do not really like to read. You have to think of the brand deck as a product itself. It should be as polished as the brand you are presenting. Finally, how you deliver your presentations also matter just as much as the contents. If you're presenting the designs live, you would want to guide your client through the story step by step instead of dropping everything at once. If you're sending a deck over in document format, you should be sure to make it easy and understandable to read. You could also avoid using jargons or big words that client might not necessarily understand. You could aim for simple words like modern, clean, that are easy to read and communicate. And that's how you create a brand identity presentation that not just looks pretty, but also communicates with clients. If you like a checklist of all the things I've mentioned in this video, drop a comment below and I'll send it your way. Don't forget to like this video so that it could be helpful to others, and also subscribe so you don't miss my future tutorials. See you in the next video.